Hello, welcome to Jason the Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my bedroom in the great state of Kansas, and I'm doing a special video today to basically commemorate that I reached 400 subscribers on the channel recently, so that's a cool another mark on the channel. I got to 400 maybe, I don't know, a week or two ago, but I didn't want to jinx anything because sometimes I'll get subscribers and then I'll lose some subscribers at the same time. So the subscriber count always goes up and then down, up and down, and you never know. I think at the moment I have 402 subscribers, so I've got 2 subscribers over the limit. So I'm hoping that's enough of a, if I lose hopefully more, don't lose more than 2 and get below 400. So hopefully I'm sticking at 400 for now, and hopefully keep moving forward is obviously the hope here anyway. So to kind of celebrate, I guess, this 400 subscriber mark, I trying to think of a video to do to kind of, something, I don't know, special, but something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I'm finally able to do it because I started collecting vinyl maybe 3 years ago. I started the channel 5 years ago. I reached my 5-year mark this year. And I was, seeing so many people, collecting vinyl and also CDs and all that. And I love collecting stuff. So I was like, man, should I get into the collecting vinyls like that? It seemed like something that would be fun to do. And I probably did it maybe 3 years ago. I started collecting, I bought a record player and I started going back to collecting, which I hadn't done since I was, in high school or something, or in college. And of course, my goal as a huge Beatles fan as I am, is I wanted to own every Beatles album on vinyl, the 13 basically in canon albums that we kind of considered those are the 13 Beatles albums basically. 12 of them are UK albums, and then the 13th is the Magical Mystery Tour, which is a US album. So that's considered like the 13 official albums basically. You also have the US albums as well, but those are kind of almost like side albums because they're the same songs, just different, arrangements of all that. Anyway, so yeah, I've been wanting to be able to show all the vinyl I got on Beatles and do a ranking of the Beatles albums. Of course, I might have done that before on the channel. I don't know. That's pretty common. A lot of people rank the albums. I mean, they're the biggest band in the world, and everybody knows their albums pretty well. So I was going to take a crack at it on this video and do my own ranking every single album, and I can showcase the album while I rank them, which is something I've always wanted to do. And very happy that I've got all the albums now on vinyl. As a Beatles fan, that's like definitely a bucket list of mine. It was like it's cool to own them on like a platform that they originally came out, and even though they're not originals, all of them, some of them are, I think, closer to the originals, but close enough to me that I'm just happy I got them in my collection and I can showcase them anyway. So let's do the rankings of all 13 Beatles albums. And I did make some changes since I think the last time. So this will be new because there's kind of some albums that have gone up and down my list actually. So it's slightly different, I think, than it was before. It's hard. There's so many great albums that there's only one album I don't like. 12 of the 13 albums are at least an 8 out of 10, if not 9, 10 out of 10s. I absolutely love these albums. So some of the really good albums, they're so close that sometimes they switch places on here. But for right now, this is my ranking of the 13. There's going to be some ones that might be a little surprising where I put them. Some are going to be exactly where you think I'm going to put them, and some of them haven't changed at all. So let's start that off with number 13, 13th album in their discography, and it's the one that everybody has at number 13, and that is Yellow Submarine. And as always, will be number 13 for me. It's pretty common. It's of course kind of a soundtrack off of the cartoon that they made, which the Beatles had pretty much no involvement in, except they show up at the very end in live action before they sing All Together Now to end the movie. It is a weird movie, weird psychedelic animation, all that you get here. And of course, the big thing about this album, why it's going to be at 13 for a lot of people like me, is, side one, you got a couple originals, then you got a couple of songs that are already been on other albums. And then the second side is all orchestra music orchestrated by in the movie by George Martin, and so yeah, so it's not a full Beatles album with 14 or 13 whatever Beatles songs and new originals and all that, so it's going to hurt the album quite a bit. Also, you have to have Yellow Submarine in here. The movie's called Yellow Submarine. Yellow Submarine was on Revolver originally, so that's a fine song. I like Yellow Submarine. Only a Northern Song. It's funny, that was a song that George wrote for the Sgt. Pepper's album, but they didn't think it was good enough to be on Sgt. Pepper's, and so they kind of didn't let him put it on the album. So then they had to replace it with "Than You Without You," and so this is kind of a song that they had left over that they stuck on here. Anyways, it's just an okay song, nothing special. Altogether Now, such a kiddie song. I don't get why they wrote this song. And it's at the very end. It's somewhat catchy, but it's so kiddie. Like, even more, Yellow Submarine's kind of a kid sing along, but this is a real super kid sing along. Hey Bulldog is what most people point to as the highlight of this album. It's like the best original tune that you get off of this album. It's a good rocking song, I agree. It's All Too Much might be my favorite new song on the album, actually, even better than Hey Bulldog. I really like It's All Too Much. I thought that was a really good song. And then you close with All You Need Is Love, which was, for US, it was on the Magical Mystery Tour album, and it was a single that came out. I guess for UK album, this is the first time you're going to see it on an album, is on this one. So that makes sense. You put that on here, and it was a big part of the movie. So, and it's my favorite song on this album, actually, is All You Need Is Love. Yeah, and then side 2, I think Pepperland is actually really good. I like that song as an orchestration song, whatever. It's really well done. Everything else is boring to me. I don't care about the other soundtrack songs, whatever, orchestra music. It means nothing to me, so I don't know. It's definitely a hard listen when you get to side 2, because it's like, gosh, I don't care about any of that. So that's why it's going to be number 13 on the list. Number 12 on the list is going to be With the Beatles, their second studio album. Iconic photo, though. Really cool there. This came pretty closely to the first album, same year. They put them both out in 1963. So, of course, it's part of their early career where they had 8 originals and 6 covers, because they didn't have enough originals to cover a whole 14-song album that they required on the UK albums. And so they had to put in some covers that they were used to playing. They played a lot in the clubs and stuff like that. So it's a mixture of that. It's just the originals aren't as strong on this one as it is on some of the other ones, like, Please Please Me, and even Beatles for Sale, I think, have stronger originals than this one. And the covers are, some of them are good, or really good. Actually, there are some good covers on here. That's probably what saves this album from not being terrible. Again, I give this an 8 out of 10. I still think it's actually a really good album, and I enjoy a lot of it. It won't be long. All My Loving, I think, are definitely the 2 best originals on here. And then some of the other originals aren't particularly as good. Like, All I Gotta Do Is okay. Little Child, it's okay. Not one of the best. George Harrison puts out his first song, You Don't Bother Me, which is not a very good song. He gets so much better with the Help album when he comes out with 2 other originals that are really quite good. This one, definitely a weak, but the first song for him. He's still getting there. He doesn't have the help of Lennon McCartney, all the time like they do. He's doing everything by himself. Hold Me Tight's an okay original. I Want to Be Your Man is definitely one of the weakest songs. It's a Ringo sung song. I think it was actually done better by Rolling Stones. And then 9 Second Time is a good one. That's another really good. That's probably my 3rd favorite original on the album. Now we go to the cover songs. Like I said, Till There Was You, Please Mr. Postman, really good covers. In fact, Please Mr. Postman is one of my all-time favorite covers that they've done. Really good stuff there. Till There Was You, I actually really like. It's from Music Man. It's more of a ballad, but I love the guitar playing on there. So good. Roll Over Beethoven, yeah, it's not my favorite. I'm not really big on that. You Really Got a Hold on Me actually is a really good cover. That's another good cover. So there are like at least 3 really good covers, I would say. Devil in Your Heart, actually not a bad cover either. I think that's a decent cover. And then Money, That's What I Want is okay as well. So the covers actually aren't too bad compared to Beatles for Sale, which I'll talk about soon, is the worst covers on any album. But so it's got a mixed bag of some good covers, some good originals, some not so good originals, not so good covers. That's why it's so low on my list. It's just the highs aren't as high as on the other albums coming up for me. So number 11, album I just got from Scott from SoundLab Studios recently. So this completed my, this is the last album I needed to get and completed my, all my Beatles albums. That is Beatles for Sale. See, this is their fourth album that they came out with. This is another case of, they came out with Hard Day's Night early in the year of 1964, and then they put this out later. They were required to put out 2 albums. So Hard Day's Night, all originals, but when they had to put out this one, I think closer to Christmas time, whatever, they didn't have enough originals to fill out a whole album, so they had to go back to the 8 originals, 6 cover songs, which is too bad because at this point, you just want to hear their originals because the originals are so good at this point, and they prove themselves at a great at writing originals. Unfortunately, they don't have the songs on the back here, but again, I think the originals are really good on here. No Reply, the opener. That is such a good song. I love that. No Reply. I mean, it's great. I'm a Loser is really, I think it's really good. And it's such a, self-deprecating song of, being down on yourself. This is a very down album. Actually, it's a very negative album as far as originals. I think maybe Lennon was going through something at the time. Because you got that. You got I Don't Want to Spoil the Party, I think is a real good song. All about, going through a breakup and don't want to go to the song because you don't want to bring people down in the party or whatever. Then Babies in Black is all about she's wearing black because, again, kind of the relationship's over, so she's wearing black for mourning, I think. But some really good harmonies on that. I think still the harmonies are top notch on a lot of those songs. I'll Follow the Sun, I think it's a great acoustic. It's super quick. It's like barely over 2 minutes. Man, I love the acoustic guitar playing on that. Another just great Paul McCartney song. Very underrated, I think. It's a song I think he wrote when he was even younger, and he finally got around to putting on an album. And it's kind of a down song about leaving somebody, I think, and I'm gonna follow the sun, and the time has come for me to go, and so again, another kind of song about leaving. I'm trying to think of what. I think it was most of the originals I can think of that are really. 8 Days a Week. Sorry, I forgot. That's the best song on the album. 8 Days a Week was the big hit off this album and a really good song. Again, kind of. That's a great just love song. Yeah, I love you. 8 Days a Week. Super catchy. Love the fade in. Love the claps. Everything. Now the covers are the worst covers. That's why this is all the way to number 11. If they could have come up, I think, with 14 originals, this could go higher on my list. But it's because they put in. I really don't like the Carl Perkins songs. I think are the worst songs, not just on this album, but of any of the songs they ever covered. Honey Don't and Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby. Just terrible covers of these Carl Perkins songs. Honey Don't's probably the worst song on the album. Mr. Moonlight, not crazy about that either. Very boring song. The rock and roll music number is okay. John Lennon gives some good vocals on it. It's fine. Kansas City Hey Hey is another one, which I think is a very boring song. And just the hey, 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 hey. It's what are we doing here? you can do so much better. So covers are bad. Originals are great. So that's why it's low on my list, but I still give it an 8 out of 10. I still think it's actually a really good album. Number 10, we're going with the first album, Please Please Me. With Love Me Do and 12 Other Songs. This is one where they're trying to capitalize on their hit song, Please Please Me, which hit number 1 in the UK. Love Me Do, they put on there because that was their first single that went to number 19. So they had 2 hit songs. Let's make an album. We'll see if this whole Beatle project, let's see if this has legs. Let's see if we can make something out of this thing off of these 2 hits. And come up with 8 originals, and then we'll throw on 6 covers and call it a day. And obviously it sold like wildfire, and did very well. And they, as you know, they had a pretty good career after this album. This is the case where it's early Beatles. I mean, very early Beatles is 1963. These are songs that they probably start writing 62, 61, whatever. And I should say, like with the Beatles, they left off "She Loves You" and "Hold My Hand" or "I Want to Hold Your Hand." Their two best songs they left off because they were hit singles. If they put those two singles on with the Beatles, that would make that album even way better. Again, too bad they left off some great originals off these originals. This is one where they have they have the hit songs on the album because they want to try to sell the album with the hit songs on there. After that, then they just didn't put the hit songs on the album, left them as singles. This being "Please Please Me," which is a magnificent song. I absolutely love that song. One of my favorite on the album. Super catchy, great guitar riff on there. "Let Me Do." I'm not crazy about that song. It's kind of a boring song. It's very simple. The thing that helps is that the Beatles sound great still on it. It's some good harmonies on there. So there's some good there. Anyways, but talking about this album, I Saw Her Standing Here. What a great opener with the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then bum, ba, da, 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 da. It's a nice rocking number to start the career of the Beatles, I think. "Misery" is actually pretty good. That's a pretty good original. "And to Go to Him," I think is a great. This is what makes this album better than some of the other albums I have. This is at number 10, is because the covers are really good. Like this, they saved their best covers, I feel like, for this album, and for the other two albums I already talked about, they didn't have as good of covers, I guess. But "And to Go to Him," it's like not a song I've ever heard of before until this. Really good cover. "Chains" I thought was a good cover. "Boys" is the worst song on here. It's a cover, like a Shirelles cover. It's weird. Ringo singing about boys. It's just weird. "Ask Me Why" is okay. It's an okay song here, original here. "P.S. I Love You" I really like. Great song. "Baby It's You," another great cover. This time another from a girls group. It's one of those originals great. And I think this cover's great. I think John Lennon does such a great job vocally. "Do You Want No Secret" I think is a really good song. "Taste Honey" not very good. That's definitely one of the bad covers on here. "There's a Place" is just okay. And then "Twist and Shout" is my favorite song on this album. It's a cover. It's the best cover of all time for the Beatles. Really made it their own. It's a rocking song to end this. So this is really good opening and closer for this album. It's just really good early Beatles music with some catchy numbers. Number 9 is going to be my most controversial spot here. And that is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which is normally like number 1 for a lot of people, or number 2, or it's going to be like a top 3 album for most people. It's already number 9. I'm not as big on this album, though. I still like Please Please Me. I'll give that like an 8 out of 10 maybe. This I'm giving a 9 out of 10 though. I still really like the album. It's still an excellent album. Mostly because the highs. Highs are very high, but I think there's also some very low lows. And that's why it's at number 9 here. I don't think it's a very consistent album for me overall. It's iconic, obviously, for the cover photo, I think. And just when it came out, I know it was like groundbreaking. It's the only album to win the Grammy Album of the Year for the Beatles. So it's I think their best-selling album of their 13 albums that they come out with, studio albums. So it's a humongous seller when it came out in 67. And so I know if you were alive during 67 and this came out, and I know it was when everybody went crazy over it, the nostalgia factor is going to make you put it probably 1 or 2, whatever. And saying that, I know that's not the whole case, but there are some people younger than me that put this number 1. So I don't know. There's something that people see in this album that I don't see quite in it. But like I said, I think there's 5 really, really great songs on here. Including "A Day in the Life," obviously, is an amazing closer to the album. One of their best songs. "She's Leaving Home." I absolutely love that song. Absolutely amazing. One of the best hidden gems on any album I've ever heard. It's just a beautiful song. Storytelling, the music, the vocals, the backing vocals are so great. The harp in there. I love that song so much. It's one of the best songs that wasn't a hit song, I think. "Lucy Sky with Diamonds," great psychedelic song. Always loved that. A Little Help from My Friends, one of Ringo's best vocal performances, and yeah, really great there. Overall, yeah, just a great song. And then I'll say, I think it's I'm trying to look on here. I think it's We Can Work It Out, I think is on here. Or Getting Better, sorry, Getting Better, that's it. Getting Better, love that song. Those 5 top tier, like, Beatles music. Then after that, it kind of takes a downturn for me. I don't think anything else is nearly as good as those 5 songs. Even the opener, Sgt. Pepper, it's a fun opener, I guess, but it's not a song that's one of my favorite. I understand, though, it needs to be the opener because it kind of gives this almost idea that you're at a show, they're talking to the audience, and then you go right into, here's Billy Shears, and then it's Ringo singing A Little Help from My Friends, and then it's almost like a concept album, then it stops after that. So it's not quite a concept album. My big problem is With Any Without You. I absolutely hate that song. I don't really like George Harrison's sitar type songs that he does a couple times. Those are my least favorite songs, those Indian sounding songs. It's a long song. It's very boring. It's just so boring. That really hurts the album, I think. The Benford Mystery Cat, I never liked that song either. I thought it was just a weird song. It doesn't really fit in with a lot of the great Beatles songs as far as melody and songwriting and harmonies and all that. It's just kind of a novelty song, I guess, in a way. And then you got some songs that are like okay, but I'm not super crazy about, like Lovely Rita, When I'm 64, Fixing a Hole, Good Morning, Good Morning. They're just okay songs, not songs I'm real crazy about. I don't know. I haven't been real high on those songs. Those songs are almost to the point where I'm not. I don't think they're terrible, but I don't think they're kind of towards the bottom of the Beatles songs. So, anyways, for me, that's why this album is all the way at number 9 and not further on my list. There's a lot of songs I just don't care for in this album, but the highs are very good, so it still gets up to number 9. Number 8, this is where this has gotten up my list a little bit. This used to be below Sgt. Pepper's, but now I'm putting it higher, and that's Hard Day's Night at number 8 on my list, their third album. And obviously the significance, of course, it's the soundtrack to, or it's music from their first movie, Hard Day's Night, in 64, which is a real fun movie as well. Very silly, but very fun. It's the first album, which is all Lennon McCartney originals. No George Harrison songs on here, though he sings like one song on here. And Ringo doesn't get to sing at all on here. So I think it actually helps the album if Ringo doesn't sing at all. And it really shows how good Lennon and McCartney are as songwriters. And not that they're the most sophisticated songs, but they know how to write a hit song. They know how to write catchy numbers. And it's the first one, I feel like, this is the third album, but it's like the best album that has not only some good rockers at the time, but also some really great ballads. And I think it showcases that they can write all kinds of music, and you're going to see it even better with Help, I think. Some of the best ballads coming off that album as well. But yeah, listen to this album again. It's just very consistently very good. John Lennon obviously is like the MVP of this album. Most of the songs are by him. He did such a great job here. Obviously, Hard Day's Night, what a great opener with that guitar. Such a good opener. I Should Have Known Better. Oh, what a great song. I think it's so catchy. Love the harmonies on that. The harmonica, everything is great. If I Fell, that's probably my favorite song on the album. The harmonies are just so good. Again, they really are perfecting those harmonies on this album, I think. It's like one of the first really great ballads that they've done. Yeah, I love that song. I'm Happy Just to Dance With You is okay. And I Love Her, another great ballad. I mean, Paul McCartney just absolutely amazing vocally, and the acoustic guitar playing on there, so good. Yeah, I love that song. Tell Me Why, super catchy. And then Can't Buy Me Love, another great catchy rock song for them. And then side 2 is not as maybe strong, but still some good stuff here. Anytime at All is great. I'll Cry Instead is not as great. Things We Said Today is pretty good. I think When I Get Home, like I'll Cry Instead and When I Get Home are the 2 weak songs on the album. I think that's the only thing that might hurt the album a little bit. But You Can't Do That and I'll Be Back are really good songs. I really like I'll Be Back, another kind of ballad type song at the end of the album. yeah, great opener and closer to the album overall, and mostly really great original songs. So yeah, here at number 8, again, 9 out of 10 album for me. This one also might be a little controversial where I put it. Most people have it higher, but I have number 7, Abbey Road, here at number 7 on the list. Yeah, this is consensus. What you say? If you polled everybody, this would be number 1 on the list. Most people put this number 1 on, not just on their Beatles list, but on their favorite album of all time. Yeah, so this comes at number 7, and I still think it's a really good album. And I can spoiler it, this is my first 10 out of 10 album. I didn't give this a 10 out of 10 originally, but over time I've kind of thought about it, and I've decided to up my score on it. It used to be a 9.5, but I decided to go another 0.5 higher and give it a 10 out of 10. So here it's number 7, but it's a 10 out of 10 album. I now have 7 albums from the Beatles that I give 10 out of 10s. Obviously, the most out of any band or artist. I don't give that many 10 out of 10s for one artist like that before, ever. But it's the Beatles, they're amazing. So, yeah, I think it's my favorite album cover for sure. Absolutely. And I've walked across Abbey Roads, one of my favorite things I've ever got to do. This is kind of their last album that they recorded, around 69. So it's right towards the end of the Beatles' career, basically. Now, what makes this a 10 out of 10 is because it has 3 of the best Beatles songs ever. Like my 3 favorite songs off the album are in my top 10 favorite Beatles songs. So that's what really kicks it up to the 10 out of 10. And that is Something, Here Comes the Sun, and Come Together. I absolutely love those songs so much. And I kind of thought about, like, man, how can I not give it 10 out of 10 with those 3 amazing songs? And the opening will Come Together. What an amazing opener. It's one of the best rock songs they ever came up with. The best bass line, I think maybe the best kind of drumming, best groove song. Just has such a great groove to it. And great vocals from John. And it's nonsensical lyrics, but I love them at the same time. And then then Something comes right after that. Something is one of my favorite songs of all time. One of the greatest love song they ever came up with. George Harrison's best song I think he's ever done in his career. The guitar playing is so beautiful. The bass playing, it's such a beautiful song. Absolutely love it. Maxwell Silver Hammer is not great, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just, it's okay. Oh Darling, this is my hot takes. I really don't like that song. I've heard a lot of people say that's their favorite song on the album. I don't like it. I don't like his vocals. I don't like the style of it. I don't know. It's not great. But then Octopus's Garden. It's a great song. I really like the song. It's my favorite Ringo song. He wrote it, which is great. A song that he wrote is my favorite Ringo song. Yeah, it's a really fun song. I think some great harmonies, some great guitar playing in there. Super catchy. I Want You, She's So Heavy is almost a great song. It's just too long. It's a little bluesy. If they shorten it up by 2 minutes, I probably would like it. But because it's so long, I don't like it. But the guitar playing is so good. It's incredible, some of the stuff they're doing on there. Now, side 2 is where people like really love this album because side 2 they love. It's funny, I'm not as big on side 2. I think it's okay though, and there's some good stuff here that again elevate to the 10 out of 10. Obviously, Here Comes the Sun. What amazing! I love going from I Want You, She's So Heavy, the heaviest song on the album, to one of the best like more ballad type songs, I guess. But just a happy song. It's just the happiest song you ever hear. Because it's okay. It's great harmonies on there. You Never Give Me Your Money is a pretty good song. Sun King I like okay. You know, Me and Mr. Mustard, Polly and Pam are just kind of throwaway songs. They're nothing to me. She Came In Through the Bathroom Window is a decent number. And then it ends probably, I didn't like this so much for a long time, but I've kind of grown to really like the last 3 songs because they're kind of blending together so well. I mean, Golden Slumber is such a great kind of ballad thing, and then Carry That Weight is very catchy. And then the end, I didn't like it at first because it's just a jam song. It's just them doing guitar solos and like a drum solo. There's really not much to it, and then it ends with, you know, that great ending is amazing. And I love that it's called The End, and it's the last song that the Beatles did before they broke up, basically. It's such a great, you know, poetic ending to the Beatles' career. And that last part, yeah, the love you take is equal to the love you make, or something like that. Oh, beautiful stuff. I wish the whole song was that, but I think taking in the whole Golden Slumbers Carry That Way in the end, kind of blending together as one song. It's kind of cool. I like the way they end in the album overall. Like I said, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. I think it's an amazing album. All right, number 6, we got the White Album, or it's called The Beatles, aka we call it the White Album. You can't see it, but it says The Beatles right here. So the album officially is called The Beatles, but they decided just to, hey, we did Sgt. Pepper's with this crazy, in Magical Mystery Tour we had these crazy album covers. Let's go with the plainest cover we can ever do, just plain white, which is a crazy idea for the Beatles that are known for their covers. It's so crazy because you can see the reflection of my computer and everything. So there's not much to show on it. It's just a white album. This is their grand double album where they were really kind of breaking apart. You can see the Beatles are really, starting to really the splinter apart as a band and become more individualistic, I think, and not as together as some of the other albums. And a lot of infighting through the album and a lot of stuff going on, but they threw all kinds of stuff here. They threw so many different genres. It's crazy. Like, so many different genres they never touched before. They just threw on this album. It's like, as I think maybe Scott said this, that they threw, everything in the kitchen sink in here. And I actually love it because of that. It's just the most diverse album they've ever come up with. And I'm not usually crazy about double albums. I don't like them. This is 30 songs. It's way too long. I wish they would have cut it. There's a whole debate. Should they cut it down to less? Should they kept it at 30? A lot of Beatles fans will say, yeah, keep it at 30, whatever. And of course, I'm like one of those, like, can we take off like the 4 really bad songs off here? Like Revolution 9, Why Don't We Do in the Road, Honey Pie, Wild Honey Pie. Can we at least take those 4 songs off here and leave it 26? If that was the case, this might be like, number 1. It might be my favorite album of all time. It's that good of an album. Just those 4 songs are so bad, especially Revolution 9, which is the second to last song, and it's not even a song, it's just a bunch of gibberish. It's the longest song on the album, but so many amazing things on here. Obviously, While My Guitar Gently Weeps is my favorite song on here. Absolute masterpiece by George Harrison. You get to hear Eric Clapton do a guitar solo, which is awesome. Blackbird is one of Paul McCartney's best, acoustic guitar playing ballads. Amazing. Those 2 definitely are my 2 biggest highlights on here. But there's so much good stuff on here. Dear Prudence, what a great discovery, great hidden gem song on here. Happiness of Warm Gun, another really cool kind of psychedelic song that really works. But like I said, you have the ballads, you have the psychedelic, you have the rocking song. Helter Skelter, you're going kind of delving into heavy metal at this point, all the way back in '68. You're kind of vending heavy metal with that one. It's such a heavy song. But other good rockers, like Everybody's Got Something Hikes for Me on Monkey, Back in the USSR, Birthday. There's some real good rockers on here. It said great ballads. I Will is great. Mother Nature's Son, Julia. Like I said, Blackbird already. So many good stuff there. Obla Di Obla Da, kind of crazy style song that really works. Rocky Raccoon, a kind of country western song with a lot of talking in it, yet tells a story and it's really fun, and I enjoy that song. The Continuing Story, Bungalow Bill, kind of a kid sing-along song about somebody killing an animal in the jungle. But super fun. I actually really love that song. It's so fun. I say all that to say, Good Night is just a lullaby song, that you're singing to your kids as they sleep. And I love it. Ringo's great on it. It's a great closer, I think, to the album. And it's beautiful, the orchestra music and all that. And I'm sure I'm forgetting. There's so many songs in here I'm not remembering because I don't have the track list in front of me. But just to name those, it's like, man, they're just hitting so many different genres, so many different styles. And it's so cool. I just love seeing the different diversity of the music making that they're doing here. Is so interesting, and it's all great. It's different, but great. And it's just a masterpiece album in that sense. Again, I wish they could take the 4 worst songs off here. even with those 4 really bad songs, it's still a 10 out of 10 album, and it's number 6 on my list. So number 5, we got Let It Be, their very last album that came out in 1970, in the Beatles' career. And I think it's a very underrated album. I think most people have this very low on their list of Beatles albums. I have it number 5. I think it's one of their best, actually. And it's funny because it's like, yeah, they're on their way out. Obviously, like I said, they're a fragmented band at this point. But they put out some of their best songs on this album. The songs are just, the highs are just so high. There's a couple lows, but the highs are so high that's like, how can you not love this album? It's not 10 out of 10. I mean, Let It Be is my second favorite Beatles song. One of the greatest songs ever written. The piano playing, the songwriting. Oh my gosh. How can you not like this album when it has Let It Be on it? I love The Long and Running Road. Some people don't like it because of the orchestra, because Phil Spector put too much orchestra in there. I think the orchestra is amazing. It's very beautiful. It's another great ballad by Paul McCartney, one of my favorite, another top 10 song for me from them. Then you got stuff like Two of Us, the opener. Man, what a great opener. It's somewhat nostalgic because it feels like it's John and Paul singing together for like the last time, it seems like. And they sing so well together. The harmonies are great. The acoustic guitar playing is great. Super catchy. Love that song. Dig a Pony I really like, actually. I think that's an underrated song. It's a fun song by John. Across the Universe, and another amazing song by John. Yeah, just it seems like gibberish, but I love the acoustic guitar playing. I just love the melody overall. Great. And then George puts in some decent songs in here. Not some of his best, but yet I like him quite a bit. I Me Mine. Yeah, it's really grown on me over time. It's super catchy. And then his For You Blue is some really good, even though it's a bluish type song, which I'm not a fan of blues, but I really like the guitar playing on here. And somewhat simple, but I really enjoy the overall song. Dig It and Maggie May are just these stupid throwaway songs. I could have done without that. I Got a Feeling, really good Paul song again. Great stuff there. One After 9/9, I think is the worst song on here. That's the one song I wish they could have taken off. Take that off and put Don't Let Me Down. I mean, it's crazy that maybe that Don't Let Me Down is one of the best songs, would have been one of the best songs on the album, and they left it off, which is so crazy. Then Get Back is a really fun, kind of almost old school rocker. And also you got Billy Preston. It's so good on this album. His piano playing, it really, I think, elevates a lot of songs like Get Back. So good. The guitar playing is really good on there. Super catchy rock song. Yeah, so many great songs on this album. One of my favorite all-time albums. All right, number 4. This album really has jumped up my list. I don't think this was this high before. It actually, these top 4 albums are in my top 10 favorite albums of all time. That's how great these albums are. So this is the cream of the crop albums. And number 4, I got Magical Mystery Tour. And this is another one where I don't know, it's somewhat divisive maybe. I think some people, this is the one US album on the list. Because the UK album was just the EP, was the first side. Again, it's a soundtrack to the movie Magical Mystery Tour a really terrible try at a movie by the Beatles trying to basically write and direct their own movie, which they had no business trying to do. But it's one of those things but it's amazing. It's kind of their psychedelic album, one of their psychedelic albums, and it's got some amazing music on it. It's crazy. Side 1, the music for the movie, it has 2 of the weakest songs on there. I think that's why a lot of people put this low, is because of I think it's Blue Jay Way and let's see, what's the other song? Flying is the only instrumental song they ever did, and then Blue Jay Way is not a particularly great song. I think a lot of people see those 2 songs and put this down low because they're like, I hate those 2 songs. But it's like, man, there's so much great stuff other than those 2 songs. I wouldn't put it down just because of those 2. They are the weakest songs on here, but yet they aren't the worst. I think there's stuff on Sgt. Pepper's that I like least. I like those better than a lot of stuff on Sgt. Pepper's, even in my opinion. But that's just, I'm probably alone on that opinion. But man, you got the opener, Magical Mystery Tour. What a great opener, super catchy. The Fool in the Hill, amazing ballad, great storytelling, great lyrics. Your Mother Should Know is okay. It's maybe one of the weaker songs, but I like it. It kind of has an old school feel to it. And then I Am the Walrus, one of the greatest psychedelic songs they ever did. Love the orchestra music on there, the nonsensical lyrics, just the way it's arranged is just so amazing, and it's so fun. It's just a fun song. That's side one. That might be the weak stuff. Side two is flawless because side two is actually songs they didn't write for the album. That's why this is on the U.S. album. It's on the U.K. album because these are all singles that came out during this time period. And again, the UK didn't put their hit singles on their albums, while the US, we put the hit singles on the albums. And that what makes this album so great is that we got some of the best singles put on side two. And some people go, oh, they just threw those songs on there. It doesn't really fit the album, the theme of the album, or like, whatever. Who cares? They're great songs. I don't care about the theme or, was it meant to be on the album? If it's great music, it's great music. You got Hello Goodbye, #1 single by them. Really good song. The two best songs on this album for me is Strawberry Fields Forever and Penny Lane. Those are top tier Beatles songs, almost top 10. Just like top 15 favorite songs by them. One by John, one by Paul. Yeah, funny enough, didn't hit #1, only hit #2 in the singles charts, which is crazy because it's some of the best singles they ever put out. But I think you talk to anybody, those are some of the best Beatles songs ever put together. Strawberry Fields might be a lot of people's favorite song ever, and I don't disagree with them. It's an amazing song. Baby Rich Man is a really good song, very good, deep, hidden gem. It's like a B-side. Really good, though. And then All You Need Is Love. What a great song to end the album. Yeah, just a masterpiece song. How it goes into, all you need is love, and they just kind of go, at the end, all you need is love. Love is all you need, love is all you need, love is all. It's so good, that ending part. Yeah, just a magnificent way to end the album. And that side two is so good. That's why it's #4 on my list, and it's in my top 10 favorite albums. Because you got Strawberry Fields and Penny Lane on it. Come on. And I Am the Walrus. All right, my top three has always been my top three. These are my 3 favorite albums of all time, 1, 2, and 3, in order. So my 3rd favorite Beatles album is actually my 3rd favorite album of all time, and that is the Help album. Again, I probably put this way higher than most people. I don't think I see other people put it in top 3. It might be more in the middle of the pack, even towards the bottom for some people, for some reason. I don't know. Man, I've always loved this album. It's kind of more the early period. It's their 5th album. It's almost a successor of Hard Day's Night, the direction they were going. And it's one of those where they're kind of going more folk rock here. They're kind of getting to that. And I think a lot of that's because they became friends with Bob Dylan. They were big admirers of Bob Dylan, so I think that influenced them to write more folk style songs. And just the songwriting is so good on here overall. While also having some of their catchiest rocker numbers. Side one, like I said, is just perfect. It's a perfect side one of the best sides of all time. I don't know, I just love these first 7 songs so much. And when I listen to them all in a row, it's like, oh man, there's just one great song after another. Obviously, this is a soundtrack to the album Help. The first side is the songs from Help. Side 2 are songs that they wrote for the album. Help, the first song, obviously, great opener, super catchy, good upbeat rock number. The Night Before, a great song by Paul. You've got to Hide Your Love Away. This is one of the best songwriting on the whole album, and to me the most Bob Dylan-ish type song. Sung by John singing it, probably wrote it mostly. Yeah, I just love the writing on here, and it's different. It seems like the Beatles are changing a little bit stylistically with this type song. They were hitting some ballads with, like I said, Hard Day's Night. But here they're hitting some really great ballad type songs. Then I Need You, George Harrison's best song up to this day, and still one of his best songs. I love the guitar playing on there. George Harrison sounds great vocally. I don't know, he just became better on this album. Another Girl, super catchy song by Paul. You're Gonna Lose That Girl, a super catchy song with John. And yeah, that's another hidden gem song. I feel like it was in the movie, so if you saw the movie, you knew it, but I don't think enough people talk about how great this song is. I just love the back and forth. You're gonna lose that girl. Yes, yes, you're gonna lose that girl. It's just a fun song, amazing. And then the end with Ticket to Ride. What a great kind of rock number, I guess you can say. Great harmonies. I love the guitar picking at the beginning. I love the drumming overall is amazing. Yeah, vocally amazing. It's just a great rock song. Then that side one. What a great side one. Side two is a little weaker, but still, I think, really great. Act Naturally is a good cover for Ringo, more country for him, which works really well. I like It's Only Love, even though John doesn't like that song. I think it's actually still a pretty good song. You Like Me Too Much is a good Harrison song, I think. Second song for him. Tell Me What You See. Oh my gosh, the harmonies are so good on there. I really like that. And then the two highlights on side two, probably I've Just Seen a Face and Yesterday, are probably two people mostly point to as great songs, and I agree. I've Just Have Seen a Face. It's such a fast-paced, fun song. I think it flows so well. And then Yesterday, it's my favorite song of all time. It's my favorite Beatles song. It's just a beautiful, heartbreaking ballad. The orchestra music is beautiful. The acoustic guitar playing, Paul's vocals, and just the sentiment of the song of, you know, losing somebody and wishing you go back to yesterday before they left. It's just a wonderful song. And then you end with Dizzy Miss Lizzy, which is, everybody agrees, why not? You should have ended on Yesterday. That would have been the perfect closer. But you got Dizzy Miss Lizzy. It's a upbeat rock number. It should have been maybe you should start side one with Dizzy Miss Lizzy and then end with Yesterday. That would have been even better. It still doesn't hurt the album. I still think it's one of the best albums ever made. I think a great combination of great catchy rock numbers and great ballads and just great songwriting overall, and my favorite song of all time. So that helps quite a bit. All right. Top two is a fairly normal top two. I think for a lot of people, love these two albums quite a bit, and I'm with them at number two, Rubber Soul. This is definitely, I think they're really changing their sound to more folk rock. Their first album, or second album, 65. It's crazy they put out Help and Rubber Soul in the same year. I mean, oh my gosh. Two best albums ever put out in 1 year by a band. Like I said, yeah, it definitely has more of a folk rock sound to it overall, but yet there's some heavier rock songs on here than anything they've done before, and some really good hidden gems too. But let's start with Drive My Car. What a good rock song, super catchy, great guitar playing. I mean, some very good heavy guitar playing on here. Norwegian Wood, great kind of acoustic ballad by John, little sitar in there, but yeah, it's one of their big hits. It's amazing. You Won't See Me. Oh man, another song, amazing harmonies, a great Paul song that's doesn't get enough credit, I think. Nowhere Man, one of my favorite all-time Beatles songs. Best harmonies, I think, probably on any song. I'd probably say this has the best harmonies maybe on it. I just love how most of the song is them singing in harmony. It's so good. Super catchy too. And some good guitar playing as well. Think for Yourself has a really cool fuzz bass on it. I think that's really cool. Musically, I think it's a really cool song. The Word is pretty decent overall. Michelle, it's funny, that's the song that won the Grammy Song of the Year, the only one that they ever won. And it's for Michelle, when there's so many other better songs than Michelle, even on this album. Michelle might be my least favorite song on the album. I'm not a big fan of Michelle. It's a weird French song that Paul put together, but I don't know. I don't love it as much as other people. Then What Goes On is okay. Ringo song, it's definitely another country-ish style song for him. It's one of the weaker songs on the album. Girl is so great. Love Girl. Love the lyrics and John's vocals, and some of the guitar playing is just really, really cool on here. And just that girl. Oh, love that the way they harmonize in that chorus. I'm Looking Through You, another great Paul song, kind of a diss on his girlfriend Jane as they're going through hard times. And then you have the best song on the album and one of my favorite songs of all time, In My Life by John. Yeah, that really makes, that probably song really puts us at number 2 for me. If it wasn't for that song, I don't know. It'd be hard. It might be a little closer to number 3 instead of number 2 on my list. But when you have In My Life on here, that song is so amazing. Such a great song, about great songwriting about, you know, the past, even though they're young. It's reminiscing about the past and, you know, about your life. It's so good. That George Martin piano middle part is really good as well. Some great harmonies in there. Just great melody. It's just one of the best melodies they've ever done. Wait is a very underrated song. The harmonies are amazing on that. Super catchy. I actually really love that song. As well as the next song, If I Need Someone, is one of my favorite George songs. The harmonies are amazing. It's super catchy. This is definitely the most folk rock song, I think, on the album. This isn't a song that could be on a Byrds album easily. They could have covered the song. It's like he listened to the Byrds, but the Byrds came out at the same time as this album. So I don't know who influenced who, but it felt like he heard a Byrds song and like, oh, let me write a song like the Byrds, and just wrote a great, amazing song. And then Run For Your Life is definitely the most problematic song, but still kind of a fun rocker overall. But yeah, Rubber Soul, number 2 on my list, which leaves number 1. Of course, I talk about this album all the time. It's my favorite album of all time, and that is Revolver. Right after Rubber Soul, coming in 66, it's more psychedelic. While Rubber Soul is more folk rock, this goes right into psychedelic. And really one of the best psychedelic albums that starts the psychedelic era in a sense. It feels like, and yeah, it's just so many amazing songs on here. Some of the best rock songs they've ever made. Best, like I said, the ending is definitely the most psychedelic song they ever did. Then some amazing ballads as well, and some great songwriting. I mean, Taxman, what a great rock song. That beginning part. Amazing. The bass and the guitar part. Oh, it's so good on that song. And the guitar solo is probably my favorite guitar solo of any Beatles song, done by Paul McCartney. It's a rocking song. For 67, I mean, this is when rock songs are starting to get heavier. 66. This is about the time. I mean, this is before Jimi Hendrix, before I think Cream, before some of those harder rock bands, and so they're kind of doing a little bit ahead of time. But yeah, Taxman's amazing opener. Eleanor Rigby, my favorite song on the album. Great ballad, some of the best songwriting I think Paul's ever done, and just amazing chorus, great orchestration as well. I'm Only Sleeping. Oh man, I love that song. It's got a little psychedelic with the backwards guitar. I love John's vocals here, the acoustic guitar playing, and just the song about not wanting to get out of bed. I love it. I feel you, John. Love You Too is surprisingly a really good sitar song. I'm not a fan of the sitar stuff Harrison does, but this song rocks. It's a really good rock song. Here, There, and Everywhere, again, one of the best love songs Paul McCartney's ever written. Beautiful song, just very beautifully arranged, and the harmonies are amazing, the backing vocals, whatever. It's just a lovely song. Then you got Yellow Submarine. It feels out of place on a psychedelic album, but, you know, I still enjoy it for what it is. It's a fun song. She Said, She Said, another incredible rock song with one of the best lyrics. She said, I know what it's like to be dead. What a great lyric to start start the song. Great guitar playing. Really rocks. I mean, it's one of the heavier songs that they've ever done. Good Day Sunshine's okay. It's not one of my favorite on the album, but still it's a decent song. And Your Bird Can Sing, a great hidden gem. It's got one of the best riffs they've ever done. I love that beginning riff. It's a short song, but man, I love that guitar riff in that song. For No One is one of the best written songs. Again, Paul McCartney just killing it on this album lyrically with Eleanor Rigby, Here, There, and Everywhere, and For No One. Just those 3 songs are so well written. And For No One is the most heartbreaking song I think they've ever done. about a breakup basically, and in her eyes, I see nothing, no sign of love behind the tears. Cry for no one. A love that should have lasted years. Some of the best writing ever. It's a beautiful song, in a sense. It's heartbreaking, but it's beautiful. Dr. Roberts, really fun rocker. I love the chorus on that one. I Want to Tell You is another really catchy Harrison song. Harrison, 3 songs, knocks it out of the park. All 3. Got to Get You to My Life. Another song, it's okay. It's not one of my favorite on the album. That and Good Day Sunshine, surprisingly, I'm not as big on, but they're okay. And then you end with Tomorrow Never Knows. What an incredible closer. What a crazy song. The sound effects on there are crazy. But I love the backward guitars. I love all the sound effects that go on. And just that drumming, that constant drumming beat is so hypnotizing. Yeah, I love it. It's just amazing. I've heard some people hate the song. Some people love it. I'm in the group that absolutely loves the song. I think it's such a fun closer to it that musically it's just so amazing and interesting and different. Anyways, yeah, great. Another great opener closer to the album. Obviously my favorite album of all time. Just so many amazing stuff on here. Beatles really at the peak here on this album in '66. So that's my number 1 favorite Beatles album of all time. And that is my list of 13. Ranking all 13 albums. Hope you enjoyed that, hearing my deep analysis of that I can do in an hour on each of these albums and give my thoughts on there. And just thank you so much to everybody that subscribed to the channel. I'm so incredibly grateful for having over 400 subscribers now. You know, when I started the channel, I didn't know if I'd ever get to 100. And now it's been 5 years since I started the channel, and I've gotten to 400 subscribers. So that's way more than I ever expected, to be honest. And I appreciate you guys and hope I can continue to put out good content that you guys will enjoy. And hopefully, please continue to watch and like and to comment on these videos. I really appreciate it. I love expressing my opinion and hearing other people's opinion and getting to discuss what I love, movies and music. And again, thank you. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and please comment, what do you think about this ranking and your favorite Beatles albums and all that, or your ranking of the albums, whatever you want to do. Feel free to comment on any of that. I would love it. And just so, I hope you have a